And hello everybody, welcome back to episode number 183 of the CheckX series. If you're new here, as I say every single day, the CheckX series is pretty much all about me, your host. I've been discussing absolutely everything that Elon talked about yesterday on X, or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, the day before. Today we're going to discuss what he talked about yesterday on Sunday, June 7th, 2026. He posted 54 times yesterday, and we're going to get right into the episode here, not to waste your guys' time too much today. Let me introduce you guys there. And starting off, as we usually do, with Tesla, and specifically artificial intelligence. Just a couple things to list here, but we are pretty much going to get right into it. To start off, you want to encourage people to join Tesla to solve real-world AI, showcasing videos of simulated training data and the dexterity of Optimus' hands as well, which is the Tesla robot. That needed clarifying. And also, Elon highlighted that the Tesla Model Y has become the best-selling vehicle in Australia, outselling all other SUVs and family cars. Last but not least, Elon also reposted content regarding the Tesla Takeover Europe send-off. And moving on to SpaceX history and development. Starting off this segment, Elon clarified the history of an early investment from Antonio Garcia, noting it was a short-term loan in 2008 rather than an initial equity stake specifically. But also, Elon reflected on the origins of SpaceX, including a failed intervention by his friends intended to stop him from starting the company. That's weird, but also, Elon detailed the original Life to Mars philanthropic mission, which was spurred by the high cost of Russian ICBMs and a lack of advancement in reusable rocket technology. And last but not least, Elon also commented on his role as the Chief Technology Officer, or CTO, stating he was self-taught because no good engineer would join a startup they thought would fail. Pretty wise words there. But moving on to SpaceX business and infrastructure as well. Just two things to add on, but starting off, Elon reportedly entered a $920 million per month agreement with Google, which we talked about, I think, in the previous episodes. If you want to go check those out, by the way, I recommend checking those out. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I don't know. But also, the partnership with Google to provide compute capacity using approximately 110,000 NVIDIA GPUs, which we also talked about in the previous episodes. And last but not least, Elon agreed with Ron Barron's prediction that SpaceX could eventually be worth $10 trillion to $30 trillion US dollars. Moving on to Starlink and Starshield. If you don't know what Starshield, just as a small background, Starshield is basically the weaponized military grade version of Starlink. So, yeah. And starting off, Elon noted the successful launch of 21 Starlink satellites and 2 Starshield satellites. Also, Elon highlighted the utility of Starlink Mini, which enabled a 10-hour live stream from a remote location in Australia. So that's pretty cool. And last but not least, Elon also pointed out that Starlink launches now outnumber all other satellite launches sources globally. So on the entire Earth, SpaceX is doing that pretty much entirely by themselves right now. They're just soloing that because, they're setting up, at this point, 2, 3 a week, maybe 4. It's rapid reusability, people. But moving on to Neuralink, just one thing to add on. Elon shared a video of Audrey Cruz, which is a Neuralink patient, who is now able to paint using only her mind after 20 years of being unable to hold a paintbrush. Very cool. And moving on to XAI and Grok here. Starting off the segment, Elon announced updates for Grok Build, which is version 0.2.31. That's a doozy, which included performance leaps and a fix for grep timeout issues. I'm not 100% sure what that is, but moving on, Elon also confirmed that a 1.5 trillion parameter Grok model is currently undergoing reinforcement learning and will come out soon. No exact, date, but it will come out soon, he said. And last but not least, Elon supported the American AI Action Plan and efforts to help the American AI stack compete globally, Moving on to global politics and bureaucracy. This is going to be the last segment of this episode. Starting off this segment, Elon criticized excessive bureaucracy, noting that major infrastructure permits in the U.S. now take years compared to the building of the Panama Canal. It's a pretty big comparison there. And also, Elon praised the semiconductor company ASML as arguably the greatest company in Europe. Interesting. And last but not least, certainly, Elon commented on European politics, specifically the surge of the AfD in Germany and alleged hypocrisy in German media. So, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, this pretty much wraps up this episode number 183 of the CheckX series. If you made it all the way to the end, I appreciate you for watching. Like I'm dropping a like, commenting, and subscribing if you haven't already. I also recommend going back and watching some of the other recent CheckX episodes just to get a nice little sequence of events going for you based on what Elon posts on Twitter every single day. If that's what you want, I recommend it though. But ladies and gentlemen, this pretty much wraps it up. I'm your host, Ivan. This is the CheckX series, and I will see you later.